This segment of Coffee Talk is supported by Port Jeff Car Care Center and Maria Palmer Properties. How have you been?
Doing well.
Excellent.
In light of everything that's been going on, obviously, but the church is going well, and we're getting it done.
I know a lot of people revere you in this beautiful village. You're spoken about very highly. We last talked right before Christmas Eve, and you were planning, and I was going to help you a little with the parking situation, to do a Christmas Eve outside service. The weather didn't cooperate.
Yeah, that was frustrating. We called it a few days ahead, just because we just saw the forecast, and we just decided to do it indoors. But it's a beautiful service, inside or outside. We're planning to continue with the idea next year, so looking forward to that possibility to connect with the community. And
what about the spring? Are there opportunities in the spring to possibly do the same thing?
There are. With the position that we are in the village, being right at the corner of Prospect and East Main, we have a fountain, a three-tiered fountain out there with a kind of a platform area, and there are opportunities. We've been kind of processing and thinking about that and how that might look, or what we might be able to do in order to draw the community.
Right, you have to be somewhat creative. It is an amazing corner, and it is in the center of town, but we both know it's a thoroughfare that's pretty busy, and parking is always an issue in Port Jeff Village. I know we wanted to get together possibly around a year ago, and we wanted to talk about the change you made from Island Christian, I believe is the name. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we had been a campus of Island Christian for 9 years, and I was actually on staff at Island Christian for 30 years, mostly as a youth pastor. And when it came time for us to be able to have this campus out here through Island Christian Church, I was asked to run the campus, and it's been my privilege. I love this village. I absolutely do. I came from a small town upstate, and I just love small town. And
where'd you come from?
I came from just due east of Saratoga. Up in the Adirondacks. Loved it, and so when it came time for us to part ways from Island Christian Church, it was all done very, very well. It was agreeable on both sides that was what we needed to do, and it was mostly because Island Christian Church in Northport, the main campus, is very large. It's got a huge facility, and it has something literally for everyone. Families can come. If you have substance issues, you can go there. There's just a ton of things that you can do. That idea, or that format of ministry, doesn't work for us here because we don't have the square footage.
Right.
We don't have the parking. We don't have, so really our focus and our attention is more outward than, say, come to us, come to our church, and we have something for you. It's more of we're looking to get out into the community and be involved in the networking and the connections in the community.
The physical attributes of the church here, there are 2 rooms, as I remember, at least, right? You have a room downstairs, and then you have the church large room.
Yes.
Okay, and it's such that you have that very famous fountain. Could you tell us a little bit about that? Because I think that goes way back, right?
It does, yeah. When we took the church over back in 2010, we did some research, and we went down to the village center and looked through some old pictures, and we discovered that there was this 3-tiered fountain out on the front yard back at the turn of the century, 1900s. And so we did a little bit more research on that, and found that it was the Biddle Fountain, and Mr. Biddle was a philanthropist that just decided that he wanted to donate that to Port Jeff, and so they ended up putting it right in front of the church. They widened the street later and took the fountain out, and it disappeared. I tried to do some research and try to find the actual fountain, but there was just no way that I could.
And then there's some incredible historical significance to the building itself. You were telling me back before 1900, right? At least.
Well, it was built in 1855.
Right.
And by the Universalists, Congregationalist Church. And 5 years later, it was sold for $1 to the Baptists.
$1.
And yeah, $1. And so it's been in Baptist hands ever since.
So it was built as a church.
Yes. When we were doing the reconstruction inside,
right.
we actually found, as part of the stage in the sanctuary, at the back of the stage, when we tore up the carpeting to replace it, we actually found a trap door.
That's what it was.
And we opened the trap door, and there were steps that went down into this large compartment, and totally enclosed. And when we thought about it in the time period that the building was built, we discovered that it was more than likely the Underground Railroad, part of the Underground Railroad.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to remember.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, you've been doing what you're doing for 30 plus years. I want to ask this in the right way. What are you seeing in terms of changes? I mean, like monumental human changes in regard to beliefs, hope, faith, church. Is it a good picture moving ahead, or do you not look at that? You just kind of put across what you need to put across and have people, really engage with what they're doing week to week. I just wondered if you had any philosophy about that, since the world is, let's face it, just a little bit different than even 10 years ago.
Yeah, that is true. So having perspective over a long period of time of ministry, I would say that the lines are being drawn a little bit more, dramatically, if that's the word. I think that people are much more adept at being able to say, well, no, I believe this or I believe that, and they tend to hold to their beliefs pretty firmly. I was in youth ministry for years and years, and to be honest with you, when I went to adult ministry, this is harder.
It's harder.
It's harder because
beliefs are solidified.
Yeah, beliefs are people are holding on to their beliefs and just
See, I always try to be open. Be open, even if I'm not going to go straight down one path. I do try to learn and be open, be respectful of other beliefs. But when you lay your head down at night, you probably have to have something that you can sort of be attached to keep you sane in some ways. Has COVID been challenging in that way? I know, people are probably, you're hearing about loneliness, you're hearing about non-direction, and quite honestly, you're hearing about survival in some cases. What have you seen? We're looking back 9-10 months now.
Yeah. We had the opportunity to reopen as a congregation and as an in-house church back on Father's Day, towards the end of June, and thankfully, we have not had any kind of an issue with COVID, being a hotspot for that or anything. We're doing our all of the necessary things that we need to do in order to keep everyone safe, but I would say that we lost about a third of our congregation of people that just are not ready to come back, and we're staying in contact with them.
Right.
We've gone live with our services on Sunday mornings so that they can
do virtual services.
We do.
And those that want to come can.
Yes.
And those that want to view in can.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, and so that has really been a godsend on that. Which, for a small church, it kind of forced our hand, to do that, but it's been a very good thing. But the interesting thing is we've actually grown during COVID. Our numbers have increased as far as people that are coming on a Sunday morning. And we're almost back up to the numbers that we had pre-COVID, even without the third that are still viewing from home, which I hope will come back someday. When they feel comfortable. And so it's been very interesting how that has played out, and I think people are looking for something that can help them through these difficult times. I think they're looking for some absolutes as far as being able to understand their faith and be able to act it out in a responsible way. And we've created a very safe environment for people to be able to come to, not just physically, but also emotionally and spiritually. And so, COVID has been difficult, transitioning or pivoting, as they say now, in different ways. But I believe that, God is doing a good work, in us and through us.
I believe so. Absolutely. Pastor Pete, it's been a pleasure having you here. Is there anything else you'd like the community know about Harborview Christian Church in terms of exact hours and days and outreach?
Sure. Well, we meet Sundays at 10 a.m. We have one service at this time. We socially distance. We require masks. We do have a fellowship time afterwards with coffee and bagels, but those are prepared very carefully so that everyone is safe in that environment as well. We even every week we even sanitize professionally our entire building so that we're going to be able to keep everyone safe. And we also have small group ministries. We have Bible studies throughout the week. And we do have, something for the families. So if you have children or small children, we do have the opportunity to minister to them as well.
And what is your online presence?
It is through YouTube. And so just go to YouTube, Harborview Christian Church. Port Jefferson. And we have an active worship team. So it's just a great opportunity to be able to service the community in this way. So come if you desire.
Thanks a lot, and thanks for joining us here on Coffee Talk.
Thank you.
And we'll do a morning clink.
Sounds good.
Thanks again, man.
Thanks so
Good
much.
seeing you.